the stream within the Punjab University, we are ranked number 1. But otherwise, in all the areas, we are ranked number 1. We are having Star College status from Department of Science and Technology, Star College status from Department of Biotechnology also. We are having, but at the same time, we believe that improvement is the only way to carry on. So this time, one of the focus areas is incubation entrepreneurship, and for this we are here today.
Thank you to all our participating teams for staying back, and thank you to all the volunteers as well as the interns for New 1.0. So to begin the evening, we have a masterclass on networking by Miss Navya Mehta. She is a graduate of Indiana University, Bloomington, Kelley School of Business, a top 10 business school in US. She completed a double major in marketing and digital technology management in 3 years. She is also an international certified career coach. She has mentored and guided more than 200 students in the US academically and professionally through various job positions. She has also worked with a well-known education agency in India with its headquarters in Mumbai and office in Delhi. Through College Smart, she aims to help students make smarter choices about their future. Currently, Ms. Mehta is undergoing a 1-year program under the IC3 movement to construct counseling cells in high schools in India. Her goal in joining high schools is to give students of the school an early start to explore their academic and non-academic interests and develop necessary skills and reach higher rank universities across the globe, including India. Let's have you here, and let's have a huge round of applause. Thank you.
Okay, let's do one thing. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. If it applies to you, just raise your hand. If it doesn't, but don't overthink it. These are very basic questions. So, how many of you are enjoying NEW? Okay, how many of you over here are founders? How many of you are below the age of 23? Below the age of 27? Sorry, 24 to 27. And 27 and above. Alright. And how many of your business ideas are pre-revenue?
What is pre-revenue?
You haven't launched it yet.
Who's that?
Or you haven't started earning money yet. Any one of you already running your own business? Okay. So if I can just have some of you, just for me to understand my audience and who I'm speaking to, can I just have one or two, just talk about your idea, what you're pitching over here? Anyone? Yeah.
So I have created an app called Trendly, and we host events. We actually take on events on our app that are happening around the city, and we allow users to buy tickets and organizers to organize their events on our app.
Okay, so I might have some business for you if you do plan on launching it very soon.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, anybody else? Okay.
हमारा ई-कॉमिक प्लेटफॉर्म है. हम कॉमिक्स होस्ट करेंगे, मतलब लाइक आर्टिस्ट और इलस्ट्रेटर्स हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म पे आके कॉमिक होस्ट करेंगे, और फिर उसी बेसिस पे हम एड रेवेन्यू और दूसरे और तरीके के रेवेन्यूज जनरेट कर रहे हैं. कोशिश है.
How did you get this idea?
I'm a comic reader.
Okay, fantastic. Alright, anybody else who might want to share their idea? Anybody else? Come on, I mean, it took you guys pretty long to pitch all of these ideas. Just one quick pitch, one last one. Somebody from here. Okay, don't force me to choose one random person.
You have an idea? Yeah, please, Mike.
My idea is, ma'am, how to generate electricity from the agriculture waste.
Okay, that's fabulous. Tell me a little bit more about it.
मैम हमारे खेतों में जो भी एग्रीकल्चर वेस्ट होता है वो मोस्टली हम उनको जला देते हैं, तो उससे क्या होगा, हमारे पोल्यूशन ही होगा, उससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं हो सकता. तो उसको हम कन्वर्ट कैसे कर सकते हैं किसी चीज़ में, तो उसके लिए मैंने कुछ इनोवेटिव आइडिया सोचा है जिससे हम उसको इलेक्ट्रिसिटी में कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं. जैसे उसको बॉयल करके स्टीम्स वगैरह लगाकर जिससे हम टर्बाइंस वगैरह को घुमा सकते हैं, और उससे क्या होगी, हमारी इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जनरेट होगी.
Okay, that's fab. I mean, working on sustainable development goals, working on ideas that, you are passionate about, and something that is also a need right now, which is great. So I think a huge round of applause for all of you. So allow me to tell you a little bit about myself. As they mentioned, that I studied at Indiana University. So, अगर compare करो Indian education and an American education system, when you do a BBA in 3 years, in US or Canada for that matter, you do it in 4 years. So when I got to US, I realized that, I was one of the lucky few. I was very fortunate that not only was I allowed to go out of my city, but also out of the country and to, an amazing place which had the best education, and I was getting that quality of education for myself. So I knew I had to make the best out of it, and, I was fortunate that I was there. So I realized that, I have to do something and really cannot take the maximum amount because US education can be very expensive. And at that time, not only was I studying in US, but also my real brother. So it definitely was a very tough time for my dad. And so I decided to do it in 3 years and, ended up saving $90,000. So while I was there, all of my friends said, "Ye pagal hai, I don't know why she's doing it in 3 years. Like, Navya, last year hai, spring break pe hum Miami jayenge, Thanksgiving pe Vegas jayenge. Like, you're just crazy. Why are you just going already?" As much as I thought that, I'm going to miss out on it, but I knew that, while they all would be spending all of their parents' money, I would be out there in the recruiting world earning for myself rather than spending. So I knew, it took me long enough to convince myself that yes, have to do it. I'm going to take a early career start. And fast forward, once you get into senior year, you start recruiting, you start going, you become very active on LinkedIn. And you start talking to people, and then they say, I thought that if I'm going to stay here, I want to work at an organization that has a fancy office because it has to be Instagram friendly. And it also has to be at a place that, an organization that I like and where I really want to work. So then I decided Amazon. As luck would have it, I did get there. But a very interesting phone conversation when, deciding between offers happened. And they said, if they're going to pay you 10,000 rupees, they will be earning 1 lakh rupees out of you. If they are giving you 10,000 rupees, they are earning 1 lakh of rupees out of you, which is 10 times. And that is when I realized that, I'm really selling myself short. That is not how it should be, and why not just earn that 1 lakh of rupees for my own self? So that is when I decided that, okay, even though I had the job of my dreams, I realized that, okay, I'm not going to go this way, but within the next 2 days, I flew back to India, and, in between, I decided that, okay, I want to start something that I'm passionate about. As you say that, you were passionate about, you read comics, or, for me, it was mentoring these students. I realized that, through my testimonials, through the people that spoke with me, that I was good at what I did. I knew that there was a need somewhere here in Chandigarh, somewhere here in India, that people wanted to get to those top universities. There was nobody to guide them and no right resources. For someone like myself, when I had to go, I went to Delhi. For my brother, we went to Mumbai. And we had to go to all these far off places to get the right kind of knowledge. So why not bring it here in Chandigarh for a need that, is still unfulfilled? And why I really wanted to mention about this is that you have to be really passionate about what you're doing, because that is when the journey becomes even more smooth. You really enjoy it. And once I did that, we realized that, okay, the problem came in that, okay, I am only 21 when I started it, and how do people trust you with so much money? Because you have to charge them. And recently, I think at an event in Thai, somebody mentioned that, I'm just 25 and, I switch my video off because people don't trust me. They feel that I'm too young to be doing this and they won't trust me, so I keep my video off. But the truth is that, if you know your business in and out, should I trust this person with my money or not? So the very key business that, whatever you all are doing, get so deep into it that, you know it in and out. Any question, so any meeting if you ever have with a client, would you ever question anybody if this didn't know? You would question it if they didn't know something, if they didn't answer to you correctly for any of your questions or for what you were looking for. But would you ever question कि इसको मैं पैसे दूँ ना दूँ जब इसने सब ठीक बताया? Would you ever do that? Yeah. So that is one thing that when everybody, as as we read the audience, that we're all young founders. So what we really need to do is that we know our business so well and that we understand our business so well that nobody really has to question us that okay, should we do business with them or not. Because at the end of the day, the funny part is the age is at our advantage. Anytime you do something big, you come under the fact that this young entrepreneur has done something like this. It is actually an advantage rather than a disadvantage. The other thing is that we do a Young Founder Summit, which is also a 3-day event that we do for high school students. And it is similar to what you all have done, but it is for high school students. Now what we realized is a problem that existed not only in my time, but also currently it did until Young Founder Summit happened. So very interesting conversation happened that they asked me, one of the students came up to me and said that I'm pretty confused about what career option I should take because I was going to be a lawyer earlier. I said, okay, why did you want to be a lawyer? My parents say that I argue really well. So that's how I decided. And then, I said, okay, but sure, that could be a point to look into that, you argue well. But the funny part is that she was scolded and she used to get into arguments because she didn't read enough. So a lawyer's job is not only to just argue, but also to do a lot of reading. So, I feel it is really important that things like these happen for a lot of students. And that is when we decided that, we give them that opportunity so that they can explore their career interests practically. And that is how YFS happened. And you couldn't believe it. So, we had students from Nepal, from Bihar and Ludhiana and all these other places, all 14 to 18-year-olds. And one of them got 10 lakh rupees investment on the spot, which is a 15-year-old kid from Bihar, just with one business idea who came all the way from there, and his life was transformed because he got that opportunity to come here and just pitch his idea. Now why I really share this is that when YFS happened successfully, it wasn't because of the efforts I put in single-handedly, but because of the network that I had built. So all the mentors that you get over here, really treat them as your own network, as something that you can advantage from and look forward to and look up to interacting and having meaningful conversations. When, be it anybody who's even in the organizing committee, somebody who's taking pictures over here, are all a part of your network, and you really don't know what kind of doors they can open up for you. Because, I can tell you for two really big points in my life when, networking really helped me was once when I got my dream job, and the next was when my biggest success happened, that is Young Founder Summit. Because when I had to, I can share what I did through networking, and really this masterclass, is not just that I can tell you that this is how you network or this is the right way. You have to find which way you are comfortable in, but it is just as important that, you network and you grow your network and your network's network. So I can tell you for all of it that something that you all might want to do is, even somebody who's sitting next to you, just talk with them and see what they have to offer, right? So this is also my network that is working in, that helped make Young Founder Summit successful. And when I was recruiting for Amazon, is that, I looked into positions that I wanted to apply to. I spoke to people in that position. I spoke to people who were working over there, and then started, applying into, okay, what does it take to be there? They became my mentors and guided me on how to really get there. So I was talking to them about, Young Founder Summit and how, it is this network that helps in, many other organizations like TAI, BNI and so many others that help you get to where you really want to be and make any of this thing successful. Yeah. So, I'm open to any questions that you all might have about, being networking in general or taking your idea forward or anything else really. Or anything that even, any self-doubts that you might have about, being a young entrepreneur or being a young founder, or really what should the next steps be. I did know that it was a long day, didn't know it was this long. Yes?
What to do if your idea fails?
It is going to fail. Just start with the assumption it is going to fail. And 99% of the times it is going to fail, but just fail fast and fail often. But remember that, take your learnings with you.
Ma'am, like if you want to know more about where to start from and how to do things, what should we do, like as a beginner?
So where to start from for your business?
Yes.
So really just start with, planning out what is the purpose, what is the end goal, who's your customer, and figuring out a lot of minute details that you want and build the business plan. So once you have the business plan, find the right kind of people to associate yourself with, find the right kind of mentors to talk to, and then start building a plan on how are you really going to move forward to get where you want to be.
Ma'am, how to know that people are right or not? Like, for example, sometimes in businesses, people tend to betray each other, and that has tend to happen in past few years. So, how do we ensure that we can trust that person and we can depend on them? Because business is a risky thing.
Of course, I mean, you choose your own team. It probably might not be your co-founder, but it could be one of your employees too. But really, you have to trust your gut and you have to be very cautious. And you can't make, in a business, you really can't just trust any random person with any money, right? Even if you have to get any service done from someone, you always trust them. You always look out for resources. You look out for testimonials that, how has their work been in the past. And only then you trust them. So of course, it will happen. It is not that, if you start early or if you start late or, it's going to be a smooth ride. This is the part of the failure that, you might come across people and it might not go in the direction you wanted it to, but you just have to have an alternate plan and you have to play it safe. Yeah, so always have a backup plan. Always, go with your gut and trust people that you know for the beginning to keep yourself safe, and then, start exploring more and more options. That is also where your network comes in. So once you work with people that are in your network or your network's network, it comes with some authenticity.
Ma'am, like we are going to Canada, so how do we do a startup there? Like, is there any specific procedures for there? Are they different from India?
So that you will be able to figure out while in Canada. I can tell you that you go with the business plan that you have. And of course, any kind of legalities and all that go with starting a business, of course, I can't say at this point in time.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions?
So right now, I'm pursuing this startup, right? Like Trendly, and I also work as a full-time software engineer at a US startup. So for me there's always a risk taking the other opportunity. So when do you know it's the right time to, leave my role at the startup, at my startup where I work as full-time, and take on my startup Trendly full-time? So where do you know it's right to take the jump?
It is now. When you know that you want to work on this and you have this idea set straight that you really want to grow, nothing can be done half-heartedly. If you are doing something half-heartedly, it is also going to give you half-hearted results. So once you immerse yourself in it full-time, only then can you, produce the most optimum results. So once you know that, you can make that 1 lakh rupees out of an idea that you're very passionate about, that is the time you're going to succeed. So, when I said that even when I hadn't started the job, I knew that I was selling myself short for just 10,000, while I did know something that could help me bring in 1 lakh of rupees. So why not just go for it? So I think it is that opportunity cost when you realize that, this is where if I devote this time over here instead and I can take out that much value, I think that's the time to drop out of that job and get into that business full time.
Awesome.
Since I was never a young founder, so my question is for the benefit of everybody else here, that what is the one good thing about being a young founder and one not so good thing about being a young founder?
So the good thing that I mentioned before was that age is to our advantage rather than a disadvantage. Because any accomplishment that we do, you're one or however many years closer to being Forbes 30 under 30, right? And you're starting early, so more and more opportunities and more people, you get that limelight that, you know, I mean, I can tell you when I did Young Founder Summit, age was to my advantage, that, you know, I am this young and I have done it, which, you know, really is an advantage, but a disadvantage, really, I haven't found any till now. I think I'm really enjoying it.
Thank you.
I'm glad that you know, I did not go for the typical job route and I started early, even though, you know, there are people, like, actually people have told me, ye ladki pagal hai. Like, you know, should have just earned some money and then started off.
Right. Thank you.
Alright, if there are any last questions.
Okay, so I'm new to this networking concept and I just wanted to ask, I don't feel comfortable going directly to someone who's part of my network and blatantly asking for help. So how do we reach out to them? How do we ask for help?
I believe, you know, really believe in yourself, and you have to really grow somewhere. Until and unless you ask for it, you will never get it. So I really treat it as like, you know, I really like my pasta to be saucy. So anytime I go to a cafe, you know, and I order pasta, I say, can I please have it with some, can you make it saucy? So if I don't tell them what I like, they will never make it how I like it. And I will never get what I want. So it's really just me wasting money. So you are really wasting all this time if you don't ask them for what you really want.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Super answer.
So I think for really anything in life, you have to ask for what you want.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Jobs or startups?
Startups. Yeah. I mean, we are here at NEW, so startups. No, even in general, startups for sure. But alright, thank you so much. I had fun speaking with you all. Thank you so much.
Navya said, I think she actually proved this line true, that age is just a number. I mean, you're pretty young, and not only it's the advantage, but you're inspiring people who are much more older than you, including me. I'm so impressed, and it's, I think, a pleasure to have you here today. So thank you so much for coming. Let's have a round of applause, of course. I would like to invite Advocate Agarwal and Mr. Kulati to do the felicitation, please. You can't, sir? Okay. Ritika ma'am, we can have you on stage.
Oh, sure.
We'll felicitate our young girl.
Okay.
Congratulations. Very well done. Thank you.
Back, any questions you have, we have our mentors right here. If you want to get in touch with the other mentors, please feel free to do your networking session as well. Or if you have any questions, you can come to us. Tomorrow is the final day, so I'm sure you have to be prepared pretty well. I hope it was a good day, masking from the participating teams. Was it? Alright, thank you.
Right? You can't decide which object who is going to pick. Right? I hope the instructions are very clear. Right? Leaders will be concluding it towards the end. They'll get 15 to 20 seconds, whereas other team members would be getting maximum 10 seconds. Right? So you all are judges. Spectator khali hum log hain stage pe. You all are judges, right? So we'll start with which team?
Just quick 30 seconds of what we are supposed to judge.
किसकी स्टोरी सबसे अच्छी है? कौन सी टीम की?
And with these items lying on the
Yes.
page.
Yes. Because when they are going with pitches also, that I'll let you know after this activity.
So we have to behave like Comics Park judges or Shark Tank judges?
ये आपके ऊपर है. Which team? Chetan's team or Dhruv's team?
We'll start with groups.
Okay. Dhruv's team.
ये एक रुमाल है,
मेरी तरफ मत देखो.
अच्छा.
Just spectator judges हो रहे थे.
ये एक रुमाल है, ये तय हो रखा है, प्रेस हो रखी है, ये उसका है, जिसका है, और काफी खूबसूरत रुमाल है, और मेरे काफ़ी नज़दीकी दोस्त का है
10 seconds over.
और मुझे कुछ नहीं बोला।
ये एक स्पेक्स है, ग्लासेस है, पता नहीं कितने नंबर की है, और क्या बोलते हैं, ये रेड कलर की है, और इसमें कुछ कुछ धुंधला भी दिख रहा है।
ये फोन है एंड हमें पता है फोन के हमारे लिए कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है, एंड इसके बिना आई गेस लाइफ इज इनकम्प्लीट, एंड वॉलपेपर इज सेइंग लेट्स चेज द रेनबोज.
It's a really bad story about this government. It keeps you fresh, but as you see all these items, they are actually close to my heart because these are my date items. So I didn't use my double mint, and she left early, but she forgot her specs. And this is my handkerchief, which I actually offered her when she spilled something. And this is my phone. Yeah, I support the
Yeah, you can pick it up. Over to Chetan's team, but please be here on the stage. So the other team should not feel as if we are left alone.
ये पानी की बोतल है, सबको पता है जल ही जीवन है, और ये हम पी के आए हैं आज अभी तक शाम तक, इसलिए अभी थोड़ा सी जो भी एनर्जी है.
So these are a pair of earphones, and through going if you want to end your class and on a good note without even hearing the boring lectures, you can use these and listen to good music. Yes.
So this is a remote जिसके लिए पूरी टाइम क्लास में लड़ाई होती रहती है, क्योंकि आधों को गर्मी लग रही होती है, आधों को ठंड लग रही होती है. बंद हो गया तो आधे लड़ेंगे, ऑन हो गया तो आधे लड़ेंगे. See all the one this is.
कोस्टर. अब हमारी टीम ने एक रिमोट दे दिया है, पानी दे दिया और हेडफोन्स दे दिए हैं. आई शुड मेक अ ड्रिंक आउट ऑफ इट. तो जब हम सबसे बोर हो गए, आई स्विच ऑन माय एसी, ऐड वाटर इन द ड्रिंक एंड लिसन टू द म्यूजिक.
So among both the teams, which team do you think is the one who has narrated their story in a proper way? It's a tight fight. So do you want to use a lifeline, Jan? So for Chetan's team, please raise your hands. Chetan's team is that team. Second team. I think around.
Guys, my date left me.
Okay, and how about Dhruv's team?
Love you guys. Second.
Okay. So based on the judgment by Sanya Kamra, Dhruv's team has won. Chetan's team. So grand applause for both the teams. But again, please be here. What does this activity give you a learning about? And again, I'll relate it to what it takes to be a young founder. Connecting things. What for?
Making stories.
Making stories. What for?
Creativity.
Creativity. Yes.
Real-time decision making.
Real-time decision making. What for? ये दिल मांगे more. Thinking on the spot. So this is more about creativity and spontaneous thinking. And with all due respect to all my age groups and above my age groups, when we talk about creativity and spontaneous thinking, that is more. And we are thankful to Navya that she joined us for talking on this topic, what it takes to be a young founder. Plus the perspective that you have given when all of your friends were enjoying that particular vacation time, you utilize that particular time in studies, and now is the time you'll enjoy your professional life as well as your personal life. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all the students. Please be seated. I'll also invite Sir to be on stage. Sir, Hitesh, please. Now it's time to felicitate our esteemed jury for today's semi-final pitching. We are very honored and grateful that you took out time and came to our campus to give your valuable inputs and suggestions to our budding entrepreneurs. To start with, we are first felicitating CEO and founder of Content Factory, Mentor TIE Chandigarh, and planning team member at TIE University Global, Startup Mentor Academic Pod, and Startup Mentor at India Accelerator, Ms. Ritika Singh. Let's have a huge round of applause for her.
Yes. Wait. Done.
Thank you so much.
Nation, Shaper, Global Shapers Community, founder and director, Satnam Infosys, Mr. Param Kalra.
Yes, sir.
Next, we have the CEO of IISER, Mr. Satendra Singh. Now we have the Associate Director, Outreach Startup Incubator, Center of Excellence in Panchkula, Mr. Ashok Vishisht.
Sir,
We now have a public relations consultant, executive coach, and a corporate trainer, Mr. CJ Singh. Last but not the least, we have the founder and managing director, Provon Ventures Private Limited, Mr. Manish Verma.
In fact, special thanks to Manish today.
yes, sir.
Thank you so much once again to all the mentors, staff, students, volunteers, and interns for today, and of course the most important people, our participants. Now Ikansa will brief you.
I again hope that during the mentoring session, during the pitching session, it was worth experiencing it, isn't it?
Yes.
You got some knowledge?
Yes.
Lots of it.
Great. So you know what all you have done in 2 days, the knowledge, the pitching session, the semi-finals, or anything. Tomorrow is the D-Day, the final day, when you will be judged by real-time investors. So to all others also, to our mentors also, to the judges also, you all are welcome for tomorrow. Please be there. 9:30 in the morning we will start. By 10:30 we will have the keynote address and the pitching will start. And after lunch it will be felicitation of the awards and the prize money will be given. Thank you. Thank you for this.
And to all the teams, participating teams.
Thank you.